What is up, everybody? How's it going tonight, guys? I am back with another harsh reality reaction, guys. So I've been diving in more to the Kylie Rodni case, and it's still not closed yet. So I'm actually gonna reopen some things on this case, and we're gonna dive into them, actually look at them, and go through them, and actually kind of dissect them and see if everything was right, guys. Because as we know, the doctors said that her autopsy wasn't even performed correctly. And on top of that, we have everybody coming forward and saying this case is not closed. Harsh Reality actually got a post from the police station in Truckee saying the case was not closed. So it's not closed, guys. So there's something behind this case, the reason why Truckee Police does not have this case actually closed, guys. But first, Harsh Reality he went ahead and named this video Kylie Rodney's close friend, Sammy Smith. And that whole interview was crazy. Guys, that interview, some of the things in that interview did not even make sense. Anyways, guys, let's jump right into the video.
And we became closer in the past year to coming months recently. And yeah, so this is a common misconception. She was not being driven home and she was not driving. So, okay. At the end of the party, when I saw her, she was supposed to give me a ride home because I had asked her to give me a ride home because I wanted to stay later. I then realized later in the party that I believe she was drunk, and I knew she was drunk, and so I did not want her to be driving me home, because I, I know about drunk drivers and all that, and so I,
Smart.
yeah, and I figured she would be staying there or she would find a ride home because she's a smart girl. She's smart.
Now, let me ask you guys something. Just from that little audio clip, what do you guys think? I mean, are we calling this girl the killer or had something to do with Kylie Rodney's death? I don't think so. But maybe does she know something? I do think so. And that's just my opinion. There's Kylie Rodney's case is so out there, guys. We have a SUV that runs off into the water with a 16-year-old girl in it. A fire cam 2 miles away catches this car a month later, month and a half later. And it on the way to the water from the or the SUV, CRV, whatever it is, it actually stops 4 times. Why is it stopping 4 times? Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
Enough to know she's smart. And so then I found her as I was leaving the party. I was making sure to find her to tell her that I had another ride home and that I loved her and I wanted to say bye and for her to have fun at the party. And then when I left the party, we were pretty much on 89 with my ride. And she called me as I was in the car in the passenger seat and she was like, "Hey, where are you? Do you still need a ride home?" And I was like, "No, I'm okay. Like I'm in the car right now. I'm like getting driven home now." But Kylie did not have a set ride home, and I was under the impression that she would either sleep there or find another ride home. Um, and it was not known that anybody was going to give her a ride home. She was not, when she called me, she was not in a car. I could hear the party and many people talking in the background.
Now, this party was also the type of party that they actually went ahead and said that where you fall is where you sleep at. Where's the mom at? Where's the mom of Kylie Rodney all through all this? If I had a daughter that was 16 years old, guys, I would go check on my daughter. I think any adult would. Because they know that she's at a party. She's not staying the night at a party. It's just not happening. So why was she able to stay the night at the party, guys? That's another question that we could be asking. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
So, how is everyone? I hope you're all well. What you've just listened to there is Sammy, the close friend of Kylie Rodney. And that was her, or part of her interview on the All American Dream Chasers channel. That's as much as I'll say about that channel at the moment. Bit of controversy. We're not going to get involved. But look, yeah, so Sammy went onto this channel and she done this interview. And I hope that you did do what I asked you to do, and that is listen, shut your eyes, and really take it in. Because I want you to put this into context. Could you imagine if that interview was a police interview? If she'd been taken into a room, shut the door, good cop, bad cop there. So tell me about the party. Do you know what I mean? I can only imagine how that would have gone down. If law enforcement weren't corrupt as fuck, that is. But, we're not going to go down that route. But Sammy, look, this ain't a hate track, by the way. This is trying to help people understand what makes people look dodgy. Because what we're going to talk about now is why I don't believe a damn word that this girl says, and why I think that if you listen to her closely, that she is told a lot more than what many people may have picked up on. So look, what we're talking about here, she is specifically talking about, well, she's not really talking about a lot, even though she was asked to tell us about Kiely. Start from the beginning, tell us about her. She couldn't really answer how long she'd been her friend.
She couldn't really answer anything about Kiely besides she was a bright light. That's all Sammy would say. Now, if Sammy was her friend, don't you think that there would have been a lot more of, oh, well, she was a great friend. We went and did this together. She was like my best friend. We grew up as kids. We went here, we went there. There was none of that. Other than that, it was just she was a bright light to everybody. That's all we heard. There was no more. So that's what got Sammy fingers pointed at her at that point in time, guys. Is because everybody didn't understand where she was coming from because she didn't make no sense to anybody. Why you would just say you're her best friend for a year and then you go on to say you're her drinking partner or drinking buddy. And why you leave her at a party knowing that she's drunk. It doesn't make no sense. So now we see how Sammy could have had fingers pointed at her very easily. Is that reason? Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
Even though they were a close friend, it doesn't seem they really knew each other that long. Last year, months, recently. Do you know what I mean? Yes, she could have been close to her. She could have been. But we'll come back to that. Now, she went on to fuck about and fumble badly over this communication towards the end of the night about whether Kiely was going to be giving her a lift or not. And you all know about that, so we don't need to go over that. We also know that Mags, her parents have come forward. And they've put their tuppence worth in. I believe it was a mum. And said, well, Kiely was inebriated. She was drunk. Wouldn't been out to drive. Wasn't going to end well. I think so. How the fuck do you know? Mags left there 10 minutes after she got there. So who was telling her? You can bet your bollocks to a barn dance. That was Sammy. Sammy has done nothing but control the narrative. She has praised the search effort. Praised them. They definitely searched that reservoir thoroughly. Thoroughly. Can't thank them enough. Brilliant job. Brilliant.
And they didn't, guys. That's the whole point of me going back on these videos, guys. This video of Harsh Reality right here is one of his, I do believe, one of his first videos of Kiely Rodni case. That's the reason why I'm diving back into this stuff, guys, because now if we go back and we look at all this stuff, it makes absolutely no sense. None of it does, guys. Was this an accident or was this foul play? I mean, there's so much stuff you can go on about this case, guys. From her car ended up into the reservoir to her body being in the back seat to how it floated over to the way her car was laying to AWP finding her car when the cops called everything clear. That's the reason why we're going back on this case is we're going to look at the older stuff and move forward, guys. It's crazy. Once you go back and you look at everything, when you done know what actually happened. No, well, we don't know what happened, but we have a better view of what may have happened, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
She nearly gave him a fucking standing ovation. She'd have whacked her head on the ceiling of a car if she had done. That's probably the only reason she didn't. They didn't find her. Maybe that's why she was so pleased. Why she praised them so much. Anyway, that's me speculating. Don't go away and think that I'm saying anything. I'm speculating. Remember, this channel is all about everybody. Opinion will be listened to. And 99.9995% of the time, I want to be wrong. Trust me, I want to be wrong. I'm not wrong often. Well, my other half says that I'm wrong a lot. I don't think she's right. But look, so what else did she say, which is very, very telling? And here we go. So let's not forget, she classed herself as a close friend. Now, she classes Kiely as a clever girl, smart girl. I didn't want to get in the car with her because she was going to be drink driving. Hold on, you just said she was a smart girl. Smart girls don't drink and drive. Not any smart girl that I know. But anyway, you then went on to say that as far as you was aware, she'd sleep there. She'd sleep there or get herself a ride. But there was no ride confirmed, during the call that you had with her at a time that was apparently after the phone was potentially switched off or the location settings had been turned off, whatever. I think that call did happen. I do think that happened. Right.
And we still don't even know where her phone's at. We found her laptop. We found papers. We found everything else, but we have not found her phone, guys. Where's her phone? You would think it would be in the vehicle somewhere, or, well, someone would have found it by now, but they haven't. So where is it at? Because she made phone calls with it. That was some of the last phone calls she's made. But we go as far as even the cops didn't even pick up her laptop. A YouTuber came along and found her laptop, and then the cops didn't even want the laptop. Couldn't we have took that to the FBI and got stuff off of it, even though it was submerged in water? There's so many things that doesn't make sense. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
These are some other questions, but that's for another day. But the party was on in the background, so you said. Not according to other people. The party closed. It was shut down. They'd pulled all of the stuff, the speakers and the lights and everything. They were tidying up. And at this time, Kiely would have been down by her car, if we're to believe Elsa. In fact, if you follow Elsa's timeline, when you rung her, it's quite likely that Kiely was down a hole being pulled out of it by Elsa and her friend. But anyway, look, you contacted her. But ultimately, Kylie's a smart girl. So what is it? Why are you, for this smart girl, a close friend, that you was happy to give alcohol, know she was having alcohol, and leave her at a party without a second thought, even after you, by your own admission, stated that you didn't want to get in a car with her because you know about drink driving. You're a smart girl. That's what he said. I don't believe that. I don't believe you're smart at all. Or, well, smart in a certain way. I think you are. But look, you left her there. You left her there because she's smart, remember? But then all of a sudden, we find out that her car is in a reservoir. Does that sound like your smart, close friend? The smart, close friend that you, by your own admission, said that she would either sleep there or she would find a lift. But you are now happy to accept the fact that she had an accident. But she didn't sleep there. She didn't get a lift. She got in the car herself and she drove. She drove down to the water, out of control, lost control, or didn't see the water and ended up in the reservoir and somehow ended up in the back of that vehicle. Now, I don't know the mechanics of how that works. I genuinely don't. And you should question that. because you're smart in certain things. Like, remember when you talked about when they're searching for stuff and the reflective nature of things and how that can help things be.
My biggest thing in this, guys, was how did the cops call this clear in Truckee? With all the dive teams, everybody they had available, came in, searched for Kiely Rodni, went to where they had the briefing at, went on and called AWP in. AWP comes in, cops say, hey, we were actually clearing this out. Don't check over here. AWP says, okay, and then they go check on it, and 10 minutes later, they find Kiely Rodni's car. When the cops at Truckee called it clear. And then comes forward with the fire cam. It just does not make sense. And if anybody can make sense of this for me, please do in the comments. Because even doctors has come forward that's done autopsies himself and said autopsy was not done correctly. She had hardly any alcohol in her system and any marijuana in her system. So how did she end up in this water? Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
Found. I'm not sure that you'd be smart enough to think that dropping specific windows may help a car go underwater and flip round. I don't know. I'm not going to get into all that, but it certainly helped that the car was upside down, perhaps. It would have hindered them seeing it. You can still see it in certain things, but look, anyway, I digress. But you left your friend at a party who you said was smart, and that friend went on to have a fatal accident. That's in your eyes. You're ignoring the fact that we currently believe that there was a sighting of her, or at least her vehicle, at 11 a.m. on the Saturday. We also know that she was found where she was found in the car, and you're ignoring that. You're not questioning that either. There are no videos, no pictures, nothing. Despite them all going through you, through the Be Real app, remember. You said there was hundreds. You had pictures of pictures of people taking pictures who were taking pictures of people taking pictures.
Not only that, there was supposed to be a beautiful, luscious party right next to where Kiely Rodni and them was at in Truckee. And that was stated on phone calls. It said it was live. People joined it live over the phone and everything else. And you can see on this fire cam, guys, this is not a mass exodus of 200 to 300 people. It's just not. And then Kiely Rodni's the only one that runs off into the water. Where's all the pictures? Where's all the pictures on Facebook, Instagram, and whatever else it may be that they use these days? It is crazy. And it is still an open case. Are they waiting for something they don't know about to come forward? Is that what they're doing? They're actually doing? Because in my opinion, I think something will come forward about this whole ordeal. I think they are waiting for people to talk. And the whole thing about her ending up in her back seats, guys, floating into her back seats, that is actually a lot of people saying it can happen and not can happen. So I'm not really for sure about that, guys. The way it looks, it doesn't look like the body could actually get back there in the very back, but we don't know that. So I'm not going to speculate on that. But anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
We ain't seen one picture. Is that because you were going round, like you said in that interview, talking to different people because you're sociable girls who's going around? Couldn't say what you was doing a lot of the time because you was inebriated. How is it, though, that you was inebriated and was still able to make smart decisions, like not getting into a vehicle of a girl that you, by your own admission, said was too drunk really to drive, and you know about drunk drivers, but yet you was not smart enough to understand that your close friend was potentially a risk to herself. And that, in a nutshell, is why you're getting the heat that you're getting. That is why people don't understand. Like, I could go into more things, like social media presence of Kiely on yours, and the fact that you deleted your social media right after Kiely was found. Potentially, I imagine, because you felt that there could be something that would lead them to believe that you had some influence on what happened. Now, I'm not saying you flat out pushed Kiely in the water or anything like that, but I do believe that you are, to some degree, in some manner, responsible, and that is just my opinion. You are completely innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and that's not likely to happen where you live. So you've got that going for you. But Kiely deserves answers. If she was truly a close friend to you, look in your heart. Could you have done more? And think about your actions since then.
Guys, look, that is tough. I mean, I'm sure there could have been more done in this whole thing, guys, to make this better. Somebody knows something about this case, about Kiely Rodni's case. And it's a matter of time before someone comes forward and actually tells us what happened about this case. I don't believe it was an accident. It is definitely foul play. Nothing adds up at all. Plus, on top of that, you have older people coming to this party with drugs. Help me make sense of this whole thing, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, guys. And I'm just, like I said, we're going to start off from the beginning. We're going to work our way to the end of Kiely Rodni's case, guys. But first, love yourself, like yourself, be nothing but yourself. Like, subscribe to the channel. It's highly appreciated. Without further ado, guys, have a nice day. Your boy Deuces. I'm out. Thank you.